The air in the room is thick, heavy. You've just laid out your decision. A choice you've wrestled with in the silent hours of the night. You look at her, waiting, but her face is a mask of stone. The silence presses down, and a familiar panic begins to bloom in your chest. So you start talking. You explain. You justify. Words spill out, a torrent of reasons, logic, and reassurances. You're building a case, presenting evidence for the validity of your own mind. You think you're building a bridge of understanding, but look closer. Look at her eyes. There's no connection there. There is a subtle shift, a chilling distance. The more you talk, the further away she gets. Your words are not bricks for a bridge. They are stones, and you are drowning yourself with them. Here is the brutal truth you've been missing. You are not having a conversation. You are on trial. And by justifying yourself, you have already pleaded guilty. Guilty of uncertainty. Guilty of needing her permission. Your need for approval is a scent in the air, and it triggers something primal within her. Contempt. It's not a conscious choice she makes. It is a deep, biological, psychological response to perceived weakness. Contempt is the most corrosive of all relationship poisons. It's the sulfuric acid that dissolves respect, admiration, and finally, love itself. Justification is not a sign of strength or collaboration. It is the language of the subordinate. You are a king explaining why he deserves his crown. A king does not explain. He simply reigns. This is not about being a tyrant. It's not about ignoring her feelings or dismissing her concerns. That is the reaction of a boy playing king. This is about embodying a quiet, internal certainty. It's the difference between asking for permission and making a declaration. Let's take the architect. He has a stable job, a predictable life. But inside, a blueprint for a grander design burns within him. He decides to leave his job to start his own firm. A bold move, a kingly move. He tells his partner, the judge. She raises an eyebrow. Is that wise? The question is a test, a single sharp probe to gauge the foundation of his conviction. And the architect crumbles. He mistakes her question for an attack. He mistakes her test for a verdict. He launches into a defense. I've saved up for 2 years. I've done market research. Here are my projections, my client list, my 5-year plan. He talks for an hour. He leaves no stone of logic unturned. He builds an irrefutable fortress of reasons. When he is finished, exhausted and breathless, he looks to the judge for her approval. The prize for his performance. But her face is not filled with reassurance. It is a landscape of ice. The eyebrow is no longer raised in a question. It is lowered in a judgment. He didn't convince her. He repulsed her. His logical fortress was built on a foundation of sand, his own self-doubt. She didn't hear his plans. She heard his plea. Am I good enough? Am I smart enough? Please tell me I'm making the right choice. She is not his partner in that moment. She has been forced into the role of his mother, and a woman cannot desire the boy she has to raise. This is the core of it all. The unveiling. Your need for external validation short-circuits her polarity of attraction. Masculine energy is decisive, it is directional, it moves forward with or without approval. It is the prow of the ship, cutting through the waves. Your justification is you, turning back to the passengers and asking, are you sure this is the right way? The captain who asks for directions is no captain at all. So what is the alternative? Silence? Aggression? Deceit? No. Those are the tools of the weak. The alternative is a quiet, unshakable conviction. Let's rewind the scene with the architect. He states his decision. I'm leaving my job. I'm starting my own firm. The launch date is in 3 weeks. A declaration, not a discussion. The judge raises her eyebrow. Is that wise? The test is presented again. This time, the architect does not crumble. He meets her gaze. He doesn't get defensive. He doesn't re-explain his logic. He simply smiles. A small, confident smile. And he says, it is, and I'd love your support, but it's happening. The frame is completely changed. He has not dismissed her. He has invited her to join his reality. He has not asked for permission. He has declared his path. And what happens to the judge? To her contempt? It cannot take root. There is no weakness for it to feed on. Instead, something else emerges. Respect. It might be grudging at first, it might be laced with fear for his risk, but it is respect, because he has demonstrated the single most attractive quality: sovereignty over his own mind. Stop building your case. You are not a lawyer arguing for your client's innocence. You are the king of your own life. Your decisions are not motions to be approved. They are edicts. State them cleanly, calmly, without the tremor of apology in your voice. Welcome her input, her counsel, her partnership, but do not surrender your final authority. Her respect for you depends on it. Your conviction is your shield. Your actions are your testament. Let your justifications fall silent. In that silence, you will not find distance. You will find her respect.